Many of you told me you're feeling overwhelmed and you end up repeating the same 3 to 4 tasks because you're not sure what to focus on. This guide is for that stage of the game when you've got all your basic tools, you've unlocked the mountain area, and you've gained access to your sprites, which is about a week or so in. Keep in mind that your days are not gonna always look the same. Festivals and special events can change things up, so don't worry if your schedule shifts. What I'm gonna do is give you 3 routines that you can use as a guideline. One is for regular midweek days, one is for your bazaar days, and one is when there is rainy days and hurricanes and whatnot. Now, if you watched any of my Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar content so far, you know that I welcomed our new little kitten called Squish, and it's so funny because I always say squish the like button, and now his name is Squish Marshmallow because it's a squishmallow. He is a fluff ball, he's so cute. So maybe we can reach 1,000 likes because this was crazy, welcoming a kitten and also making sure all of this content came out on time with the release of this game. So even my voice is breaking out, so you can see how overwhelmed and just chaotic everything has been for me. So please squish the like and subscribe buttons and let's get into it. At the start of every season, make sure that you take note of which items are gonna be trending at the bazaar so you can prioritize those and maximize your profit. Now we start each morning bright and early by checking the calendar. If it's someone's birthday, it's always a nice idea to gift them at least a flower and have a quick chat. Next, we're gonna head over to the barn. We're gonna pick up any animal products, and if you have pets, some might have already herded animals outside, especially if it's sunny. Step outside to grab your mail, then brush and pet the rest of your animals. This is also the time to greet your pets and train them with some treats if you have any. On this particular day, I didn't have any, so we're gonna skip that part. You can buy treats from Miguel or make them yourself at the windmill. And speaking of mail, a lot of you have been asking me where it goes. You can access it directly from this menu here. Just press X on your Switch controller. And if you need more help with hidden mechanics like this, I have an entire video of 20 tips and tricks that are gonna explain a lot of things for you, so I'm gonna leave it for you below the like button. Now, let's get to working on the farm. This is time for us to harvest, fertilize, till the soil, and plant. If you're like me and you're constantly struggling with backspace, which you can see happening today, this is where upgrading inventory and storage comes in handy. Now, this was something that I was working on for that specific week, so I was waiting for the bazaar to finally upgrade my storage. Also, notice how I've set up windscreens since there's a hurricane coming tomorrow. Always keep some of these windscreens prepared. You're gonna need 3 for every storm, and you can process them at the windmill. Oh, and don't forget about these dirt piles on your farm. A lot of you don't know that you can actually dig them up with a hoe for extra resources. Now our work on the farm is done. Our stamina is obviously low. We feel stinky, so let's take a 30-minute bath. And by the way, you can take 2 of these every day. After that, we're gonna process any animal byproducts because they're gonna sell for a lot more when we refine them. And that's also how we can get wool and dyes for our outfits, which you're gonna see me also working on in this week's bazaar. Now, if there's a festival, an event, or heart scenes happening, I would say go and do them right away because some of them only appear in the morning. Then it's time to make our social rounds. I usually start at the cafe if it's open, then I go to Miguel, I say hi, and then I work my way across the town. Don't forget that in the bazaar area, some of your friends are going to be hanging out there, so you can go and say hi. Today I was actually too late to say hi, so everyone was on their way back home, and it kind of worked in my favor, so I didn't have to chase everyone downtown because they were all going back home. And on the way, I gather some ores, bugs, flowers, and critters. I sometimes fish too, but honestly, I skip it unless I'm working towards some kind of achievement. Now, once you've talked to everyone and you gave them their gifts, you can head up to the mountains. On the way, I usually stop by the windmills to process whatever I've gathered. I'll also keep meals on hand so I can recharge. Now, if you want, you can also stop by at home and take your next shower if it's been already 8 hours since you took your last one. Now, in the mountains, you can grab ores, flowers, mushrooms, and stones, and sometimes you can also say a quick hello to Arata and Kagetsu. Now, after you're done, you can head back home. You can donate any extra items to the sprites, so you can increase the quality of the goods that you're gathering, which is of course gonna help you sell them for more at the bazaar. Now, whenever I'm back home, I like to use the materials that I've gathered to start processing things like tools. Now, at this stage where I was playing here, I was more in need of the blue windmill, and I needed mostly gold ore to upgrade stuff, so you know that's gonna take a little bit more time for me. But if you're also at that stage, you can either head there right now or you can go to it tomorrow on your way to the bazaar. bazaar or on your way to say hi to everyone. If you're struggling with which tools to upgrade first, I would say focus on the watering can, the hatchet, and the sickle. These were my priority and they made managing my stamina a lot easier. Then it's time for, your evening chores. Water your crops one last time, fertilize, anything. As you can see, I forgot. And you can store items to keep them fresh and bring in the animals back into the barn. Now, thankfully, my dog did the herding for me. And finally, inside the house, I'll do a bit of meal prepping. I'll check on the radio for news and shows, prep for any hurricanes that might be coming. And it's bedtime. Now, during the day, always keep an eye out for notifications about heart events. These can come and go at any time, so I would say prioritize these. And if you see also a blue exclamation point pop up, that means that someone has a favor to ask of you. As you're collecting items, keep those favors in mind so you can process materials later at the windmills or maybe forage whatever they need. And if you don't know what an item requires, you can press the materials required button to check if you have whatever this item needs. And always keep in mind that things are not going to be the same every day. Not only will events and festivals and bazaars change things around, but in general, look at my day today. I was just struggling with storage, and then picking things off the floor individually just took up so much time for me. But it's okay because I have a rough guideline to follow, so I can still do a lot every day, and you don't see me repeating the same task over and over and then wasting time. And I would love to know what kind of routine you follow in the comments. Personally, some days I will fly through my list when everything goes smoothly, and other days it's just pure chaos like today. Now, if it's raining, your routine will look a little bit different. While you can still fertilize and harvest your crops, you don't need to water them, so it's gonna save you a lot of stamina and daytime. I would say rainy days and especially like hurricane days, these are great for socializing since most villagers are gonna be at home, so it's gonna be a lot easier and quicker for you to go and say hi to everyone. Plus, you can also take advantage of the weather by fishing for species that only appear when it rains. You can also catch rainy day bugs, and you can trigger any cutscenes that you might not see otherwise. And of course, you can also run up to the mountains and get some materials you're short on. Now, on bazaar days, I do things a bit differently as my focus is mostly on the bazaar and maximizing my profit, but I also don't want to forget about my crops and pets and animals, so I would suggest to take care of your animals first thing. Sure, you're gonna lose a little bit of time from the bazaar, but I almost always run out of stuff in my stock before the time even ends. So handle your farm chores, harvest, water, do whatever you have to, grab your items from your storage that you want to sell, and by the way, during the week, you can also store stuff in your tent at the bazaar. And this is another useful tip from my video where I share with you 20 useful tips that are going to make things a lot easier for you in the game. So sometimes you can take that to your advantage. Next, I would head straight to the bazaar to set up stock. I'm going to change whatever decorations I want to, and you get to work your first shift. Now, during the day, check expansions. If you have enough money, buy them. If not, you can keep working. And then once you see okay, there's about 45 minutes before the bazaar ends, close your stall if you're not out of stock. I'm usually always out of stock by that time, and go ahead and do whatever purchases you want to get. I wanted to get pets, I wanted to get outfits, all of that, so I did that today. And don't forget to use your sprites to help at the bazaar. I usually deploy them when the shift is almost done. If you saw, I triggered it about a second before my shift ended, and that way I can maximize my bonuses and my time. Now, after the shift is over, on our way back home, we can forage everything that we can. We can take a quick trip to the mountains if we want. You can stop by and take a bath first if you want to as well. Get whatever materials have spawned, especially for processing, your better tools and all of that. And keep in mind that depending on how strong the winds are, certain areas can be accessible because of that. Once you're back home, if you didn't take a bath yet, then you can take it. I also changed to the new clothes I got. You can cook, and as you can see, I got a ton of pets and upgrades, including the bag and the storage and all of that. Thank the Lord, because it was giving me anxiety. You can also process, you can check the radio, so you can see I set up some windscreens because there's yet another hurricane tomorrow coming, so I have to be ready. Water your crops, fertilize them, and I don't usually focus much on talking to townsfolk during the bazaar days, but you can use the quick hello feature to say hi to everyone when you're on your way to the bazaar and on your way back. So So as you can see, there are a ton of tasks that you can do, but the most important bit is keep things relaxed, have fun. This game is so cute and adorable, and squish the like button if this video was helpful, and subscribe if you love cozy life sim games because I cover a ton of them on the channel. Watch my 20 useful tips and tricks video next. This is gonna help you a lot. I'm gonna link it for you in the pinned comment. Thank you to my YouTube and Patreon members who make videos like this possible, and a shout out goes to The Game Dimension, Jake Logan, Yugoslav, and Stella for going the extra mile. Until next time, stay bubbly.